In an era where the modern firearms industry is obsessed with soulless injection, molded polymers, and sterile aerospace aluminum, there is a profound paradox found in the deep American timber. We have spent decades chasing ultralight tactical chassis systems that feel entirely dead in the hands. Yet, the most lethal riflemen in history knew a fundamental truth that we are just now remembering. True structural rigidity, harmonic consistency, and the sheer inertia needed to stabilize. A precision shot under extreme pressure do not come from a laboratory. They come from the earth, blued steel forged in fire, and dense walnut cured by the relentless march of time. Today, we are stripping away the plastic marketing hype to brutally analyze the 10 greatest classic woodstock deer rifles you can acquire for under $800. If you respect the gritty heritage of American marksmanship and demand surgical precision without the premium price tag, secure your spot in our ranks and subscribe right now. We are dropping straight into the list. Number 10. The Mossberg Patriot Walnut. When you examine the lineage of American hunting, you inevitably find Mossberg standing in the mud and the rain producing tools for the working class. The Patriot Walnut is the modern evolution of that blue-collar heritage designed for the rugged demands of the North American wilderness. While other manufacturers chase aerospace polymers, Mossberg anchors this rifle in Grade 1 walnut and traditional blued steel. Let us look at the mechanics. The heart of this system is the lightning bolt action trigger. The skeletonized bladed shoe requires deliberate engagement before the sear can drop, giving you a crisp break that feels like snapping a fragile icicle in freezing temperatures. The fluted 22-inch barrel and fluted bolt body shed unnecessary weight while maximizing surface area for rapid cooling. It is a workhorse that breathes heavy after a long string of fire, but never quits. The Patriot handles like a seasoned tracking dog, fast on the scent and completely devoid of unnecessary flash. However, there is a mechanical compromise to address. To achieve this specific economic bracket, Mossberg utilized a 5-round detachable box magazine constructed entirely of polymer. The feed lips feel remarkably brittle when compared to the massive steel receiver above it, leaving a slightly hollow and fragile impression during high-stress reloads in the field. You can put this reliable classic in your gun safe for approximately $450. Number 9. The Winchester XPR Sporter. To carry the Winchester name into the deep woods is to carry the heavy ghost of American frontier history on your shoulder. The XPR Sporter is the relentless descendant of those legendary rifles engineered strictly for the modern marksman who refuses to surrender to synthetic stocks. Let us examine the mechanics of this predator. The heavy tubular steel receiver features a reduced-size ejection port intentionally designed to absolutely maximize the structural rigidity of the action. Inside this vault, Winchester houses a massive 60-degree 3-lug bolt coated in a slick nickel Teflon finish. Cycling this bolt feels like sliding a heavy block of ice across glass. It is incredibly fast and aggressively smooth. When you break the shot, the proprietary MOA trigger system drops the sear with zero perceptible creep, sending a shockwave of kinetic energy down the barrel, while the dense wooden stock swallows the sharp recoil impulse like a seasoned heavyweight fighter taking a punch. But even a titan has a weakness. While the mechanical performance is surgically precise, the aesthetic execution of the wood finish falls slightly flat. The stain lacks the rich dimensional depth and high-gloss luster found on competing traditional rifles, leaving it looking a bit utilitarian when placed next to a vintage masterpiece. You can arm yourself with this rugged piece of American heritage for approximately $550. Number 8. The CZ600 American. While our focus remains firmly on the United States consumer market, we must respect the cold, calculating precision of European engineering when it touches American soil. The CZ600 American bridges the gap between old-world craftsmanship and the rugged demands of the modern whitetail hunter. Beneath its beautiful, symmetrical hardwood exterior lies a mechanical soul forged for absolute durability. Let us look closely at the action. The rifle utilizes a fast 60-degree bolt throw, allowing you to cycle rounds with aggressive speed while maintaining perfect clearance under your heavy hunting optic. The cold hammer forged barrel acts like a highly tuned instrument, vibrating with absolute consistency to deliver surgical strikes at long distances. Firing this weapon feels like unleashing a controlled explosion within a vault. The heavy steel and dense wood absorb the violent shockwave, taming heavy cartridges into a smooth, authoritative push against your shoulder. However, this magnificent beast demands a toll. While perfectly balanced, it carries the traditional weight expected of a solid hardwood rifle. Navigating steep ridges and dense timber with this classic platform will demand more physical stamina than carrying a modern ultralight synthetic build. While its standard retail price hovers around $860, dedicated hunters frequently secure this European masterpiece on the secondary market for just under $800. Number 7. The Savage 110 Classic. For over 6 decades, the Savage 110 action has been a relentless workhorse in the American wilderness, proving that absolute precision does not require an elite pedigree. It was born from a desperate need for mass-produced reliability that could survive the freezing rain and unforgiving elements of the frontier. The 110 Classic takes this legendary mechanical foundation and wraps it in a beautiful walnut stock, while hiding a brilliant, modern secret inside the wood. Let us dissect the mechanics. Savage integrated their highly advanced AccuFit version 2 system directly into the traditional hardwood. This means you can micro-adjust the comb height and length of pull using specialized internal spacers, ensuring your dominant eye aligns flawlessly with your optic. It is a stunning fusion of 21st century ergonomics and old-world aesthetics. When you squeeze the iconic AccuTrigger, the rifle barks with a deep, resonant thunder, while the dense wooden stock, combined with the custom-fit geometry, masterfully absorbs the heavy recoil impulse. It feels like a rigid extension of your own skeletal structure. But we must address the visual deal-breaker. While the wood is gorgeous, the massive barrel nut and the highly industrial utilitarian lines of the receiver look like they belong in a heavy machine shop. It completely lacks the refined, sweeping grace and romantic curves found on true vintage custom sporters. You can hunt with this highly adaptable piece of American engineering for approximately $790 on the secondary market. Number 6. The Tikka T3x Hunter. To understand this weapon, you must look to the freezing, brutal environments of Northern Europe, where absolute reliability is the only thing separating survival from failure in the snow. Built upon the legendary Sacco lineage, the T3x Hunter is a cold, calculating predator wrapped in a traditional walnut stock. Let us look at the mechanical heart of this Finnish masterpiece. The receiver houses an incredibly smooth 2-lug bolt with a fast 70-degree lift. Cycling this action feels like sliding oiled glass over polished ice. It is utterly flawless. The cold hammer forged barrel acts as a precise conduit, sending projectiles downrange with surgical accuracy. When the firing pin strikes, the rifle barks with a sharp, violent crack that shatters the silence of the timber, while the dense wooden stock grounds the massive kinetic energy, preventing the muzzle from violently leaping off target. It is a highly refined instrument of ballistics. However, the hidden cost of this European precision is a bitter pill to swallow. While the rifle itself is a masterpiece, the proprietary polymer magazines and factory replacement parts are priced at an absolutely absurd premium. Losing a simple plastic magazine in the deep brush will cost you dearly to replace, making the overall cost of ownership frustratingly high for a working-class hunter. While retail prices soar above $900, vigilant marksmen can secure this walnut beauty on the secondary market for around $649. Number 5. The Browning AB3 Hunter. The Browning A-bolt was an absolute staple in American hunting camps for decades, revered for its smooth action and rugged dependability. When Browning modernized their lineup, they refused to abandon the working-class Hunter, resulting in the AB3. Manufactured by the master craftsmen at Miroku in Japan, it seamlessly marries the heavy prestige of the Browning name with advanced, cost-effective engineering. Let us examine the mechanics. The action features a fast 60-degree bolt lift with a robust 3-lug design. But the brilliant tactical advantage lies in the independent bolt unlock button located just behind the bolt handle. This allows you to open the action and safely extract a live round while the primary safety remains fully locked and engaged. When you touch off a heavy Magnum cartridge, the rifle roars with a deafening thunder, but the proprietary Inflex recoil pad physically deflects the comb down and away from your cheekbone. It takes the violent, punishing bite of a Magnum and turns it into a heavy, manageable shove against your shoulder. However, there is a painful flaw for the Deep Woods tracker. The beautiful satin finish applied to the dark walnut stock is incredibly fragile. Dragging this rifle through thick, thorny brush or scraping it against an old oak stand will leave deep, agonizing scratches in the wood, immediately destroying its pristine aesthetic. You can wield this modernized classic in the timber for approximately $700. Number 4. The Rossi R95 Lever-Action Walnut. Before we dive into the deep woods, let us test your historical knowledge. What type of powder was the 30-30 Winchester originally loaded with when it debuted in 1895? Option A, black powder. Option B, smokeless powder. Option C, cordite. Drop your guess in the comments. Now let us return to the mechanics. You cannot discuss the heritage of the American wilderness without acknowledging the lever-action rifle. Rossi filled a massive void with a weapon built for the thickest timber. The mechanical genius of the R95 lies in its side ejection port and flat-top carbon steel receiver. This allows the modern hunter to mount magnified optics directly over the bore, merging vintage lever gun speed with 21st century precision. Cycling this action feels like slamming a heavy iron vault door open and closed. It is incredibly fast and built to handle the high chamber pressures of modern ammunition. When you fire the 30-30 cartridge, the weapon barks with a sharp, snappy crack that rips through the pine trees, while the thick rubber recoil pad swallows the sudden kinetic punch, allowing you to instantly acquire your next target. However, there is a severe tactical limitation. Because of the blunt nose projectiles required for the tubular magazine, the ballistic trajectory drops like a heavy stone. It becomes highly ineffective for engagement stretching beyond 150 yards. You can secure this iconic piece of brush country dominance for approximately $700. Number 3. The Weatherby Vanguard Sporter. The name Weatherby carries the heavy weight of American royalty in the firearms world, built on a legacy of blistering speed and devastating magnum power. The Vanguard Sporter takes that elite pedigree and brings it down from the mountaintop, putting a surgical instrument into the hands of the working-class hunter. Let us look at the mechanical fortress driving this weapon. The action is heavily influenced by legendary Japanese manufacturing utilizing a massive forged receiver and a one-piece machined bolt body. The bolt features deep flutes designed to aggressively shed dirt and freezing rain, ensuring it cycles flawlessly when the environment tries to shut you down. Firing this rifle feels like unleashing a contained thunderstorm. It barks with an earth-shaking voice that echoes through the valleys, while the dense Turkish walnut stock grounds the violent recoil impulse, anchoring you like a deeply rooted oak tree. It is a highly refined machine built for absolute destruction. But we must expose the tactical flaw. This is not a weapon for the weak. The sheer mass of the heavy forged steel and thick walnut makes this rifle incredibly bulky and heavy. Hauling this massive piece of artillery up steep ridges will violently drain your physical stamina. It is a weapon designed for a stationary ambush, not a high-speed mobile pursuit. You can bring this piece of American royalty into your camp for approximately $750. Number 2. The Howa M1500 Super Deluxe Walnut. Japanese precision manufacturing has been the silent backbone of the American firearms industry for decades. Howa machinery brings cold calculating engineering from the East and drops it directly into a classic mid-century American profile. Let us dissect the mechanical heart of this weapon. At its core lies the legendary forged flat-bottom 1500 receiver, paired with a massive one-piece forged bolt featuring a brutal M16-style claw extractor. This extractor rips spent brass out of the chamber with ruthless authority, ensuring the weapon cycles flawlessly even under the heavy stress of overpressure scenarios. The proprietary two-stage HACT trigger provides a light, crisp break with absolutely zero creep serving as the crucial connection between the shooter and the seer. When you touch off a round, this rifle barks with a sharp, violent crack, while the deep oil-finished Turkish walnut stock soaks up the heavy recoil impulse like a dense sponge. It feels incredibly planted in your hands, guaranteeing sub-minute of angle precision right out of the box. But there is a distinct vulnerability you must understand before taking it into the field. The precise barrel harmonics that give this weapon its surgical accuracy are highly sensitive to added weight. If you thread a massive heavy magnum suppressor onto the end of this barrel, you will violently disrupt those perfectly tuned vibrations, causing your point of impact to shift and your tight groups to wander unpredictably. You can wield this beautifully engineered masterpiece for approximately $749. Number 1. The Stevens 334 Walnut. When you examine the current landscape of the firearms market, you will find a relentless sea of cheap plastic and cut corners. The Stevens brand, resurrected by savage arms and forged in the massive armories of Turkey, arrived to violently disrupt that entire system. It is an absolute fortress of old-world materials and modern over-engineering. Let us look at the mechanical foundation that makes this weapon the undisputed king of its class. It features an incredibly massive Type 4 140 chromoly steel receiver that stretches an astounding 9 inches in length. This is significantly larger and heavier than most standard long actions on the market today. But the true mechanical genius lies underneath. Instead of bolting directly into the wood, this flat-bottom receiver mates with a heavy steel recoil plate and an aluminum bedding block. This creates a rock-solid foundation that absolutely refuses to flex or warp under the intense pressure of modern cartridges. The action utilizes a short 60-degree 3-lug bolt that cycles incredibly fast, ensuring your hands never hit your optic when running the gun under high stress. Ammunition is fed from a 3-round single-stack polymer magazine that sits perfectly flush with the bottom of the stock, maintaining the sleek predatory lines of the rifle without snagging on thick brush. When you press the trigger on a heavy .308 Winchester cartridge, the rifle responds with a deep, concussive roar. Yet the immense weight of the overbuilt steel receiver and the dense Turkish walnut completely absorb the violent kinetic shockwave, turning what should be a punishing blow into a smooth, steady push against your shoulder. It holds zero flawlessly and delivers sub-minute of angle precision that embarrasses rifles costing twice as much. During independent field testing, this heavy machine consistently punched out groups well under 1 inch at 100 yards using premium factory ammunition. This is what happens when you refuse to compromise on materials. You can own this heavy-duty masterpiece of modern manufacturing for an incredibly disruptive $489. Before we close out, let us answer the pop quiz from earlier. If you guessed option B, smokeless powder, you know your history. The 3030 Winchester was the first small-bore sporting rifle cartridge designed for smokeless powder in the United States back in 1895. We have covered a lot of ground today, from the cold steel of Europe to the deep timber of the American frontier. The firearms industry may continue to push lighter plastics and space-age aluminum, but true marksmen understand that nothing absorbs recoil, stabilizes a shot, or carries the gritty soul of a hunter quite like genuine walnut and heavy-blued steel. These 10 rifles are not just hunting tools. They are mechanical heirlooms built to outlast us all. If you want more relentless truth about the weapons that shaped our world and refuse to settle for mainstream marketing, hit that subscribe button right now. Keep your powder dry and your aim true. We will see you on the next one.